Everybody, let's talk about every game happened on October 27th, Sunday. Let's get into it. The first game is the Sixers somehow beat the Pacers with no Paul George, no Embiid in overtime. This game was kind of ugly. Tyrese Halliburton finally had a good bounce back game, but he only had 2 assists. We'll talk about him in a bit. Uh, Tyrese Maxey took 32 field goals, 48 minutes, 45 points, 5 threes, 80% from the line, 4 rebound, 4 assists, a steal and a block. Embiid and Paul George, one of them is going to be back this week, I think. And they also have a very, very low volume week. I think they only have 2 games this week. So Maxey needs some rest for sure. Once those guys come back, Drummond is a drop. Once Embiid does come back, I don't think you need to hold him just because Embiid misses those games, unless you have a bench. Like, you don't play all your players. Otherwise, you're just missing out a player. Whenever Embiid plays, Drummond is not really going to do anything. But whenever he's out, big game, 17 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. Kelly Oubre Jr., yes, Paul George, when Paul George is out, him and Caleb Martin, you can stream them, but they don't really do much, to be honest. Eric Gordon came off the bench, played well. But if you look at the Sixers roster, going into the playoffs, they do have some, quality players, but who can you really trust? I don't trust Kelly Oubre Jr. I don't know if I can trust Caleb Martin. So it still depends on, the best players to perform in the playoffs. It's all about playoffs for the Sixers, to be honest. They still do need to get a good seed. Just by the way things look, Celtics can lock down that first seed. They look so good. For the Pacers, Miles Turner, another big game with 5 fouls, 6 turnovers. But the minutes is high, plus overtime, of course. Because in the past, Miles Turner, he doesn't average 30 minutes. But this year, let's see, Miles Turner, 85th ranked player, averaging 32 minutes right now. So his minutes are a little bit high. Something to monitor. Tyrese Halliburton, shooting-wise, final had a bounce back game, made 4 threes. But what is up with the 2 assists? I'm starting to get a little bit worried. The first couple games, shooting, I'm not worried about his shooting. Eventually he's bounced back, but just no assist. 2 assists here. Tyrese Halliburton on the season, he's averaging just 3.7 assists. That is incredibly low. At this point, what are you going to do? You just hold. Maybe try to buy low from him. Throw him like a top 30, 40 player. Yeah. Actually, 30 might be cutting. If he doesn't get assists, he's not even going to be top 30. He's still going to be good in fantasy, but it's just not first round. Absolutely not. Pascal Siakam did his thing fairly efficient, and Aaron Nesmith, this team, not a lot going on in fantasy. Let's go on to the next game. The Pelicans somehow lost to Portland. Well, they did play on the road, and they are dealing with a couple of injuries, especially with DeJounte Murray. He's going to be out maybe a month. So with him out, Jordan Hawkins is a good stream for some guard stats. It doesn't look like he get a lot of defensive stats, but 2, 3, 17 points, 7 rebounds is pretty good. CJ McCollum in the meanwhile should have a big usage boost. What is up with the 4 steals? CJ is getting, back in Portland days, he doesn't get he's averaging the first week, he's averaging 3 steals. He's actually the 12th ranked player. A little bit sell high, but with DeJounte Murray out, he's going to get a usage boost. Brandon Ingram goes back to his old self. 8 rebounds, 6 assists is good, but no defensive stats. And Zion Williamson only added 1 block. Zion Williamson had a slow start. Maybe also a buy low. He hasn't really contributed much. Herbert Jones had 2 steals. You really get him for defensive stats, which in category leagues obviously is very useful. For Portland, wow, good win for them. Anthony Simons had a good game with 27 points, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 5 threes. That's not bad. The problem with him is, first of all, stay healthy, and then is Portland going to play him as we get to the end of the season? That's a big question mark. But, doesn't think they're going to make the playoffs or even close to the play. Danny Advia had an okay game. Do not drop him if Danny Advia struggles. His minute on this team is pretty secure. Jeremy Grant did all that in 20 minutes. Jeremy Grant is a sell high. I feel like every year is a sell high. So is he really a sell high? The problem with Jeremy Grant, same thing with Anthony Simons, is when we get to the end of the season, he's not going to play. And then his role on this team, I mean, he's not exactly a young dude. So he's a guy that maybe like a good team could really use him. So he could get traded at the trade deadline. 2 steals and 4 blocks is pretty crazy. Tomani Kamara, he doesn't really do a lot. 2 steals is nice. You can stream him if you have a back-to-back. Scoot Henderson continues to be bad, but if you're looking for assists, if you don't care about your field goal, you don't care about your turnovers, yeah, you could have him or stream him for sure. DeAndre Ayton had an okay game, 17 points, 12 rebounds. This is such a DeAndre Ayton game. Added a block, but he got to get more blocks. Field goal wise, it's fine, 7 for 9. The next game is bad. Bucks lost to Brooklyn Nets, 102-115. Damian Lillard, 21 points, 10 for 11 from the free throw line is really, really good. That's gonna be majority of his value. Is the free throws this year. He's still gonna score a bunch. He's gonna hit some threes, but free throws really is what Damian Lillard really give you at this point of his career, especially with every once in a while he's gonna score 40, but not a lot. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 22 rebound, 22 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, still on the block. An okay game from Giannis, but he was a minus 11. Brook Lopez, no blocks here. He was blocking shots like crazy, but added 2 steals, 3 blocks. You only have Lopez for really the threes and blocks in category leagues. He's gonna struggle, from time to time, scoring like 2 points. He will have games like this. He will also have games like 6 blocks, like he had earlier last week. Torian Prince didn't do anything, played 34 minutes. You can always stream him, but definitely not a must roster. Gary Trent Jr. played just 28 minutes. Look, if you need 3s and steals, I would still have Gary Trent, but if you don't, then he's useless to you. Bobby Portis came off the bench. He's another guy that have some fantasy value. 16 points, 10 rebounds is good enough if you're looking for those. For the Brooklyn Nets, wow, a lot of people played super well. Cam Thomas, to me, he's a sell high. 32 points, 2 threes, 10 for 11 from the free throw line is crazy, and 2 steals. Just incredible usage. We know he's going to average, he's going to take a lot of shots. Given how Steph Curry is injured, I was thinking like maybe he's aiming for Steph Curry. Him plus somebody for Steph Curry. Steph Curry, if, as long as he's healthy, pretty much does everything better than Cam Thomas, other than maybe the number of field goals. But yeah, that's definitely something I would think about. Sell Cam Thomas high. First of all, I don't think this is sustainable. Second of all, there's a lot of uncertainty with the Nets. Now he might get traded, who knows? And if he gets injured, they're trying to tank. And I don't know if Cam Thomas is part of their future. He's a high volume scorer on a bad team. That's really it. Dorian Finney-Smith started at the center again. It's just getting more. It looks like there could be a trend moving forward. Nicholas Claxton got 22 minutes. I guess two more minutes than he got last game. 11 rebounds is great, 2 blocks, but his minutes is a big concern. I would try to sell Nicholas Claxton. If I can get if he probably get drafted in the 5th or 6th round, I can get a top 50 player back. I would at this moment, just because they're messing with his minutes too much. Cameron Johnson played 28 minutes. I don't think he's a must roster. He just hit some threes. That's it. I think you're better off streaming the spot. And Ben Simmons played 24 minutes. Yeah, if you need rebound and assist and some defensive stats, yes. Otherwise, I would not have him. But this Nets team, same thing with Dennis Schroeder, a big sell high, 29 minutes, 6 assists, and 5 threes. Who knows? He may not even be on his team. Moving on to the next game, the Atlanta Hawks got destroyed by Oklahoma City Thunder, 104-128. And Jalen Johnson, another really bad game. 3 for 13, 4 turnovers. I think he's a buy low at the moment. He's gonna figure it out. Trying to improve his field goal and turnovers, but it's been a rough week. Dyson Daniel also shot the ball pretty poorly, 3 for 11, but he's a must roster, no questions asked. Trae Young shot the ball okay, but he did have 10 turnovers. That Young Thunder defense, it was pretty scary. 24 points, 8 assists, an okay game from Trae. Zachary had 20. I don't know if I got his name right. He played 27 minutes. It's only because DeAndre Hunter is out, as well as Bogdanovich. Maybe at some point this season he could rack up consistent 28 minutes. It might be super late down the line, so I wouldn't really. Sure, you have him now when the guys are out. Assuming block is pretty nice, and Clint Capella and Okungu. Clint Capella, if he plays well, I would absolutely try to sell him. We know he's gonna play 22 minutes, 20 to 24 minutes a night. He's gonna give you good rebounds. But the blocks, he's not a big blocks guy, right? Even during his prime, I don't think he averaged did he ever get like 2.5 blocks? And he's getting older and older. Okungu, meanwhile, seems to get more minutes than Capella pretty consistently in the first week. Not a good game here. I mean, collectively, the Hawks just got destroyed by OKC. And then we look at OKC. How about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? He's the number one ranked player right now. Better than AD. Why? Because he's averaging 3.3 steals and 2 blocks. That is insane. And he's not shooting the ball that well. He's only shooting 45%. 90% from the free throw line. Yeah, that's to be expected. So Shai has been pretty scary. But I would still put, to be honest, Jokic and Wembanyama above Shai, like a tier above. Just because so much of Shai's value coming from the defensive side. I just don't know he can average 3.3 steals. That is crazy. Aaron Wiggins started just 18 minutes. I mean, they're playing, they're doing kind of different lineups, actually. Isaiah Joe was started one game. Cason Wallace also gets some minutes. They have a lot of really good guards. Alex Caruso plays just 21 minutes. This man is crazy. 3 steals and 2 blocks a game in 21 minutes. But, he's the plus 17 too. He's only just a defensive specialist. He doesn't do anything else. But if you need those categories, yes, he give you a really good boost. Chet Holmgren, 1 steal, 6 blocks. Amazing. Also a sell high, if you can. Isaiah Hartenstein is going to be back at some point, right? If he plays the power forward, how many blocks is he getting? We don't know. Jalen Williams, it seems like all the young guys, everybody's popping off. He kind of took a back seat. 20 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals is still really good, but went 4 for 8 from the free throw line. But Thunder looking like they're going to be top. They're going to be I don't know. Out of every team on the West, they're looking real scary, at least in the first week. Moving on to the last game of the night, Steph Curry obviously got injured. I think Steph could be a buy low, Get Cam Thomas plus somebody to try to get Steph Curry. They still need to play him, right? I don't expect Warriors to be out of the playoffs or anything like that. They're going to compete, so they're going to play Curry. They're going to rest him for sure, but they're going to play him until the end of the season. For the Clippers, another great win for them. What is Clippers' record? I feel like they got a couple of tough wins on the road, which is good to see, even with no Kawhi. Well, the Lakers also 3-0. Clippers are 2-1. Lakers, Thunder, the 3-0 right now. Well, James Harden didn't shoot the ball well, but how about the free throws? 9 for 9, 11 assists. James Harden, like I said, on a per game basis, he's not going to be that good, but it's just a category he offers. And you can build a team around that. In category leagues, you have a certain strategy, right? If you can lock down free throw assists every day, there's some categories like threes. There's so many guys on the waiver where I can get threes. Same thing with steals. There's a lot of steal specialists. There's some maybe rebound and block specialists. But you don't find guys that assist on the waiver wire. So I think that give you a big advantage. Norman Powell, 20 points, nothing else. Sure, in the short term, right with him, but also sell high for sure. Zubac, is this the year he gets unlocked? Because years in the past, you got Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, they go small a lot of the times. This year, they cannot go small, and they don't even have Kawhi Leonard. I want to say a sell high, but he could be really good this year. 18 rebounds. 18 rebounds is insane. 6 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Also, but try to sell high by somebody who's like really underperforming right now. I think Victor Wembanyama also the first week not so good. Yeah, Zubac plus Cam Thomas plus somebody plus like a second round and see if we can get Wembanyama. It's okay to do those 3-for-1, 2-for-1 trades. Terrence Mann started, get nothing. Then Derek Jones Jr. had 2 steals and 18 points. Okay, these 2 guys you could stream them. And how about we have a Chris Dunn sighting and Kevin Porter Jr. Chris Dunn still doing it after all these years. 4 steals in 28 minutes. He's still doing it. If you need assist, he give you good assist, rebound, and steals. That's what he gives you. So if he can get consistent minutes, he could be a streamer, pretty useful streamer, I think. And Kevin Porter Jr., are they going to ramp him up? Doesn't look like it now, so I would not touch him. And Kai Jones is on this team. Interesting. Golden State Warriors, well, the big news is Steph Curry gets hurt. Before he got hurt, 4 3, 6 assists. 6 assists and 2 steals is decent for Curry. I'm not really worried about Curry scoring not being high. Because he's going to get his. It's more about like the assist and steal numbers. It was super low last year. So I feel good about Curry. But obviously, there's the ankle injury, so hopefully, he comes back pretty quickly. But they gotta take their time with Curry probably. So with him out, if Wiggins is on the waiver wire, I will pick him up. Kuminga, right? Buddy Hield is somebody I would look at. Podziemski, DeAnthony Melton, right? Obviously, Warriors, they got a lot of guys. So from game to game, there's gonna be variance. But Buddy Hield seems to be hot lately, so I will pick him up. They maybe need some extra firepower, yeah, and let Draymond Green be run the show. Draymond Green has been really bad. 4 personal fouls. I don't know if he's washed or what. Even last year or 2 years ago, he's not just. You draft Draymond Green for those peripheral stats, kind of like a Ben Simmons. So we need him to get a lot of defensive stats, but he hasn't been giving us defensive stats. Maybe he's just kind of taking it easy during the regular season, but this is concerning for Draymond. Yeah. So Buddy Hield, Podziemski, DeAnthony Melton, these are guys that I'll look to, especially Warriors got a back-to-back, I'll look to stream. Wiggins and Kuminga is probably already rostered. Wiggins had a good game here, actually. Underrated. 29 points, 5 threes, a steal and a block. And Tracy Jackson-Davis, the minute's just not high. This game they give Kevon Looney, so he's just not going to be consistent. So if he has a good stretch, try to sell him. That should be the rule. That's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.